Hey guys, welcome back to Confusing Bits. I am Corey, and today we're going to talk about the journeys through the Radiant Citadel. This is a D&D adventure anthology. So if you're not into D&D, so this is like a source book. This is not like you don't just read it. So this is not like a regular book. If you're not into D&D, you could probably skip this one. If you are into D&D, the too long did read is pretty good. Maybe not for new DMs, but a lot of great um, ideas for cultural settings and stuff like that. I really love that. But anyway, we'll do a deep dive in just a second. Let's go ahead and do the blurb. We won't read all of it, but I'll do the reading from, since I don't have the book backside here. Okay, here we go. Lighten your path to an adventure, an anthology of 13 standalone adventures set in the wondrous lands for the world's greatest role-playing game. Through the mist of the ethereal plane shines the radiant Citadel. Travelers from across the multiverse flock to this mysterious bastion to share their traditions, stories, and calls for heroes. A crossroad of wonders and adventures, the Radiant Citadel is the first step to the path of legend. Where will your journeys take you? Journeys to the Radiant Citadel is a collection of 13 short standalone D&D adventures facing challenges for characters level 1 through 14. Each adventure has ties to the Radiant Citadel, a magical city with connections to lands rich with excitement and danger, and each can be run by itself or as part of an ongoing campaign. Explore this rich and varied collection of adventures in magic lands, and it goes through it, does a bullet point and everything, but we're done. So yeah, that's the burp. So yeah, the central thing is like there's like this kind of hub city, which is the Radiant Citadel. That is like this kind of magical city that's like floating in the ethereal plane or something, like the space. It's floating in space. And then there's like space portals to like other worlds, basically other planets. You take these special ships that go through. They explain it all like in the introductory section. So the first section of the book is about the Radiant Citadel. Explains like some of the governing stuff and how the city works, and the politics and things like that. If that's your jam, it dives deep into that. I was if you have severe allergies to PC culture, or I don't know, what's the term, uh, identity politics or something like that, this is not the book for you. But it's gonna rub you the wrong way. But it's a good book. I like the book. It's it has the city, and then so it's a city introductory section, and then each chapter starts from level 1 and goes all the way up to level 14 at the highest. And it says 13 adventures. I thought it was 14 adventures, but anyway, I guess it skips a level at some way. Maybe it goes from like 1 to 3. Maybe that's what happened. I can't remember. It's been months since I run these, so I don't remember. But anyway, the so it has like each sort of adventure is like in a new culture. So it sets up a new culture. It's kind of mostly kind of roughly related into a real world culture. So there's like a Mexican slash Aztec culture story in here. There's like a Chinese slash dragon kind of culture in here, and it's some of it is kind of, and then there's some kind of South American kind of culture. There's different cultures. Like if I was a more cultured person, I would be able to identify every one of them, but you get the idea. There's like, and that was one of the key things they got, from what I understand, they got a bunch of different writers from each of these these ethnicities or whatever, to come up with different adventures, and that's how they put together the book. Now, I think there was some controversy about some of the depictions being not right, but I mean, considering the somebody was going to find something to complain about. That's just how it goes, right? I don't know the extent of the controversy. I don't care. I'm sure it's, a valid points were made, and I'm sure invalid points were made. I'm not going to get into it, but um, the point is, they have the like each little adventure is in a new culture, and that's simultaneously its strength and also its weakness. Especially as a new DM, I'm just opening this up, and like this was the reason why I bought this book, because our DM got too busy. He had to go, got a new job or whatever. He was too busy to be a DM anymore. So I stepped up to be the DM for a group at the time, and I bought this book in part because it was new. I figured that they had all the kinks worked out and want to do one of the older books, and so I want to be kind of current with the latest D&D, I don't know, zeitgeist or whatever. I want it to be, have all the up-to-date water cooler talk around D&D. And so I got the Radiant Citadel at the time, which had just come out. And by the way, look at that cover. This is amazing. This is the one of the special edition covers. Obviously, the regular ones are the regular. You know how D&D is. It looks like this, Well, maybe not the shine. That's another specialty. You know what D&D books look like. This is the black and red books. This specialty, I just love that. That's so great. I love the colors and the pastels and everything. It's great. And of course, the art in here is always awesome, as usual. But I'll show you guys a little bit of that, some of that in a little bit. But to get back to the topic, I already forgot what it was. So yeah, I was just getting back into to do it. So I picked up this thing, hoping that it would help me have some individual short little adventures, basically a bunch of dual one shots that I can run, because it was an open table, so people were coming and going. So they needed to be each individual one shot adventures that kind of, maybe had some sort of loose thread carrying through it at best. And so I thought this book would be great. Turns out it wasn't that great. For one, I'm a new DM, so it was a big burden having this new cultural setting and a bunch of new names, a bunch of new NPCs being introduced every single module, and having this whole new setup every time. Instead of being able to have this main cast of characters, or maybe adding a character or two along the way, we were getting this whole new cast of characters, a whole new setting, whole new places, every single adventures, and some of these words were really hard to pronounce. It got to be kind of a joke as I was running some of the later ones, where I would just make up there would be like some long complicated name, and I would say, "This is Bob," just because I couldn't even pronounce the name. So like I loved it, the effort they put in this, but it wasn't great for what I was trying to do at the time. I think there's a little, if you really love prepping and you're really great with memory and stuff, maybe that's your jam. Maybe that's something that's a strength of you. That might be something that works for you with this book. But for me, it was an extra burden, and I found myself being more bogged down by the new settings and everything every time than being helped. So I might have been actually better off finding some other book. I think like there's someone that's like the Keys to the Golden Vault or something, like the heist one. I think that one might have been better for what I was trying to do, because I imagine a lot of the settings stay similar, and the cast of characters stay similar. I didn't want a full-on campaign, but it was too much. It was too much. But I did love quite a few of these stories. And we ended up I did all the way up to, what is it, the eighth one? The eighth one with the mild spoilers. There's one with like a water spirit or something or other. We did it all. We did it all the way up to there, and or at least I prepped all the way up to there. I don't think we ever actually ended up playing the Water Spirit one, but had a good time with it. As usual, if you just have a good D&D group, you're going to have a good time. But I love this. Like, it's great. Some great art here. People going crazy. A big party or something. As usual, the D&D art is on point. Let's see. A lot of lively colors in some of this art, and some of it even gets pretty dark. Like you can see a little bit more traditional horror and stuff like that. And like, what is this? What is that? Oh my god! And there are quite a few. And some of them are more whimsical, and some of them are more serious. So it's not. There's a bunch of different tones throughout. I really like this book. I had that caveat that it wasn't for me, and I'm not going to continue it. But I really did like the book, and should the need arise, I need inspiration for something. I'm sure this will be great for me to. I haven't even looked at the rest of the half of the book, so I'm sure that there's something else that I could use later on. Or if I just need a runner one shot, I still got this. But I don't want to do that every week after week after week, having to rebuild, re-prep a one shot, with a whole new culture. But for something that's like an occasional thing I need to fill in 1 week for the DM, I still think that's fine here. But doing it week after week, that was too much work for me. I didn't want to spend hours prepping. I won't, at most, an hour. I want to read through the adventure in about an hour. And then when I go to prep for that week, I want to sit down and be able to prep within an hour the adventure, like, the day before or the day of the game. I want to be able to do that within an hour. I don't want to spend hours and hours and hours and hours prepping. And I don't want to have long notes of NPC names, which, that was one of the things I had a problem with. Is coming out with dealing with the names and the places and all of that jazz. But part of that could just be my inexperience. Part of it could just be this book was a bit much for my skill level as a DM. But I still love the book. I highly recommend it. And I think I said about all that can be said about this was Journeys to the Radiant Citadel. Found at your favorite game store now. I'll catch you guys next week.